an Internet of Nature application, I mean, one of the most promising ones that we're seeing is the use of soil sensors, so Internet of Things soil sensors, because so much of our urban green, of course, its foundation is in soil, and soil really is kind of one of the most undervalued kind of aspects of the urban ecosystem. But the beautiful thing is if we get soil right, we can get a lot of, we can grow, not only, allow our urban trees and other vegetation to survive, but actually thrive in urban environments. So one of the most important things is first understanding what's going on. Only with the amount of information can we actually, better deduce what we need to do in these soil environments. And soil sensors allow us to take measurements, in real time. It kind of gives us, you can do it in combination with soil sampling and soil testing in the lab. But you can also, rely purely on soil sensor measurements as well to understand when the soil is too dry or when it's perhaps too saturated, when the salinity content is too high. All of these different, parameters of soil health can give you an indication of what to do. I think another really exciting application is this up and coming use of plant identification apps. So I think that, these plant identification apps have been kind of a fun tool that, botany lovers have had on their phones for a while. And now we're actually seeing them, being used at a much wider scale. And, they've changed as well. When the very first iNaturalist app came out, basically you would take a photo of a plant, it would send it back, to volunteer botanists, and these botanists would then, take their best guess at what it could be and send that back. And that's kind of how they would grow their database. But with the recent advancements in artificial intelligence and specifically in machine learning, we're actually able to, an app like PlantSnap, for example, has actually been able to, train its database of some, 600,000 different plant species and has about a 90% accuracy of identifying those. So when we're able to do these things at such a scale, we're actually able to start, crowdsourcing, crowd mapping, urban biodiversity maps for cities all over the world. And I mean, it's not just cool to understand, what the biodiversity looks like in a city, but we can actually start to track that over time, right? Because each photo that you take has a geotag to it. So we can begin to ask questions like, what are the effects of a certain impact of climate change having on a certain species that we find in cities? And you can begin to really ask and understand these difficult and complex, global research questions.